longest electioneering period. In this year alone, 2 presidential elections were held, with one being annulled by the Supreme Court. It was an election period that left 2 opposing sides, Jubilee and NASA, at loggerheads. And now, after postponing the swearing-in of Raila Odinga, the opposition maintains it is just a matter of time before the opposition chief takes oath as the people's president. What does this mean? And in a surprise move, Jubilee spared Council of Governor Chair Josephat Nanok to complete his term before Kwale Governor Salim Vuria takes over with Kirinyaga Governor Anne Waiguru elected as deputy chair. Still, President Uhuru is yet to name his cabinet. Why the wait? This is the way it is, and that's where we want to now get onto the political scene. Let's start with the swearing in, which had been postponed, and according to the meeting that was held yesterday, it is still on the cards. Mark, your thoughts on that, and could this be flogging a dead horse on NASA's part?
I think it's not flogging a dead horse. I think the horse by now is rotten because there's no impetus anymore. And let's be quite frank. First and foremost, competing with Christmas holiday cheer in the Kenyan psyche is an exercise in futility. Let me teach them a lesson that Moi learned a long time ago. That if you want to hold a controversial election in this country with the most amount of peace, hold it in December. That's why Moi used to push elections into December. Why? Because it is very hard for a politician to compete with my grandmother for attention. Okay? So I will travel home, I will be in Christmas cheer, and whatever you do politically...
But one might argue, Mark, that there's nothing really to be happy about over this Christmas. The economy, when you look at the amount of, things economically speaking, some may not even be going home to be with their relatives.
True. However, the reality of the matter is this, and this is Kenya. I promise you, we will celebrate Christmas. Whether we are broke, whether we have to borrow the chickens from our neighbors, but we will celebrate them. I'm speaking as a lawyer, okay? So we will celebrate.
The chicken has to come into the
chicken has to come into the picture. And therefore, let's understand this, that you must ask yourself the question, if you are intent on doing the swearing in, and there was a Bible yesterday, and there's lawyers available in Kilifi, why wasn't it done yesterday? This is what is called political posturing and grandstanding. That's all he's doing. And at the end of the day, his caveat has been that he wants to talk with the government. Now, here's the issue. The government also has said that they want to talk. But what they want to talk about are 2 different issues. One wants to say that you, the person who's sitting across the table from me, do not exist. You are not a president, okay? And the other wants to say, listen, I am substantively president, and therefore I want to discuss how to move the country forward. And that's why the most important conversation to have in this nation is this. Is it a who we voted for, or is it a what we voted for? Because if it is a who, we will never come to peace, because all we want is Raila Odinga, all we want is Uhuru Kenyatta. But if it is a what in terms of road, in terms of justice, in terms of even election justice that they talked about, in terms of inclusivity, then why don't we have the conversation of whoever is in power, can they deliver what is written in the Constitution and what is given to them as a mandate within the manifesto, which is a conversation Uhuru Kenyatta is willing to have. The conversation about individuals is toxic to this country. Let's have a conversation about how do we build the country regardless of who is in office. I want to get to a situation where there's a Borana whose name I cannot pronounce in the presidency, and I'm not panicking. I want to be in a situation where a naturalized Somali can be president in this country. I want to be in a situation where my country moves forward regardless of political party.